real quick, I got a special announcement for you guys. Right now, we're running a special promotion over on poodlecfb.com. If you use code WINTER with a capital W, you will receive 40% off the annual deal, which basically locks you in from now and the majority of CFB 26. It's one of the fastest growing communities, so you definitely want to get in now so you'll be locked in for next year. And if you want to stick to the monthly plan, we're running 20% off on the monthly if you use code WINTER2025 with a capital W. So make sure to check it out. The codes and links will be down below in the description and in the comments. What's going on, everybody? It's Poodle back with another CFB 25 video. In today's video, I'm going to go over a little secret method that quickly grows your team prestige in Dynasty mode. Welcome to the video, guys. As always, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell, give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below if you have anything else to add, and if you haven't already, check out poodlecfb.com. We're still running code WINTER, like I keep saying. As long as we keep hitting our goals, I'll keep the code running. So right now, code WINTER, capital W, gets you $40 off the annual plan, and code WINTER, capital W, 2025 get you 20% off the monthly plan. Again, the great thing about this is this is a recurring discount, so if you lock yourself in now, you do secure that discount for CFP 26, and if you were to get the annual plan right now, you're basically set up for the entirety of the rest of this year as well as CFP 26. So make sure to check it out. You don't want to miss it. Fastest growing CFP communities going on over there. We have our data lab, our perks, our spreadsheets, everything you need to dominate your league and basically be accused of cheating by your league mates. Get ready now. You won't want to miss the start of CFP 26, so don't miss out on the discount. Let's get into it. So we were talking about this over in my Discord and a few little things for getting your prestige up. So there are a few things, and the thing with prestige, in my opinion, is that a lot of people always wonder, like, when getting a bad program. One stars can be a little different, but when you're like at a 2 or 3 and you're trying to get up to those blue chip type programs, it's like, how do you do it? A lot of people think, oh, you got to bring in better recruits, which technically, yes. Some people think you got to grow the players you have, win a lot. At the end of the day, it all comes down to one thing. You need to increase the stars of your school. Reason being is right here. So my first season with Syracuse, I didn't have 1,000 hours. This is season 2. I'm already a 4-star program. I didn't have 1,000 hours in Syracuse. Hours in the preseason basically set up your entire year, and recruiting as well. Starting with less hours, and of course your coach, but starting with less hours and a bad coach when starting at a bad program basically means you can't recruit because you have no hours, you could barely scout, you have to guess a lot, which ends up with normal dev and impact dev guys, and more importantly, when you do have to guess, you're also not dealing with many hours. It's really tough. Your hours are so important. Your team prestige basically opens up the recruits you can get, your starting interest. You got to get your prestige up. So of course, there's plenty of ways to do this. When you go over to my school, you can see all this. There's plenty of ways you can do it, right? There's program tradition, there's championship contender, brand exposure, pro potential. A lot of these can be brought up by winning. Some you can't touch, like academic prestige and campus lifestyle. Now, that's why I usually recommend picking a team that has at least one of them pretty solid when rebuilding a team. If you're a top team, it doesn't really matter, but these give you a good floor baseline for keeping your team high in stars, which is why I always tell you Stanford's like the easiest 5-star rebuild to do at times, because yeah, they're 3.5 primarily because they're A+, A+ in this area, which makes it super easy. Some things can't be touched, but for the most part, you can upgrade most of these. Now, the one that's the easiest to do, one of the big ones, like championship contender. Championship contender has a method here to do, which I'll go through shortly. Program tradition, you got to play through the game. Some of these take a few years because you got to kind of play through the game and get some of it. But the one I'm going to talk about today is going to be the championship contender. This is a big one. You have a lot of deal breakers, a lot of motivations, and a lot of pitches with these. With this one specifically, championship contender has 2 things: current media poll rank, which just means win, simple, and Bud Elliott's blue chip ratio. This is a ratio of your 4 and 5-star players relative to the rest of your team. So let's say you have 85 players in your roster and 83 of them are 3 stars, you only have 2 4 stars. Your blue chip ratio is going to be awful and your championship contender is going to go down. I got this up by, when recruiting this past year, focusing on something very specific. So this is why I always say in that first year when rebuilding, especially if you're like 2-star and higher, if you're a 1-star, it's going to be tough. If you're a 2, 3-star higher, what I do is, this is why when I set my board, of course, I don't want to mess with this board specifically because this is my real season board, but when I do my board, I always do this. I come to 4 stars as a rebuilding team, because what you want to do is you want to get your ratios of 4 and 5 stars up right away, because getting that championship contender up gets your whole team set up, especially for a lot of deal breakers, because better players, a lot of them have the deal breaker champ. You see it right here. This guy, as my camera's blocking, all these good players basically have this as their first thing, championship contender. A lot of them have that, pro potential as well, but you want to get this up. So what I'll typically do with 4-star prospects, I'll sort by interest. Year 1, sort by interest. It's not always, this is only because I've gotten my coach up and I'm ready to go now, but you sort by interest. I had about 5 guys that had me on the list. I instantly put them on there. Then what I do is I add some other guys, and then the second week after that, I go to this. I filter by offers. I filter offers to 0, and I add every 4-star that had 0 offers on them after that first week. Because what that basically tells me is every elite program, every user in my league has already decided where they're going. These 4-stars are going to go unrecruited to the mid-cycle. As a bad team, it's going to be hard to get them, but since no one's recruiting them, you're going to end up outpacing people. Another thing I like to do is also starting with elite recruiter coordinators like Syracuse had, because it makes it a lot easier to do that. But you want to start doing that, because what I ended up doing with Syracuse year 1 was I brought in about 11 to 12 4-stars right off the rip. Couldn't get any 5-stars, but you don't need 5-stars in this sense because you just need 4 or better. So you want to go in and you blindly recruit them. They're going to be normal dev. They're going to be impact dev. None of that matters, because the point was, and as you can see with my team here, was to bring in 4-stars blindly. They were boss. Some of them were. I didn't even scout them. You just need them to start resetting your roster. As you saw, I only have 15% right now. I have 15% on the blue chip right over here on the right. Where is it? I lost it. There it is. Nope. There it is. Blue chip, Bud Elliott's blue chip ratio at 15%. So what you want to start doing next is going into every season, when you go to your cut phase, cut players that are lower than 4-stars. Start phasing out. So you typically I'd cut like seniors or juniors that are pretty bad. At this point, when resetting my team, I'm going to start cutting 3-stars and lower and only holding on to 4-stars. That way by like season 2 or 3, a lot of my roster can start being 4-star and 5-stars, and you'll skyrocket this, and going forward that'll be maxed out basically, because you're going to only be having 4 and 5-stars. And that is the point. So by doing that, I got Syracuse up to a 4-star right off rip. Now I have 1,000 hours. This is where we start cooking with to start getting elite recruiter, because it's tough to get it without this. Now that you have this, now that you opened up a lot of deal breakers, now that I built my coach in season 1, now I'm going to cook, because now I have 1,000 hours. I have my coach set up. I have championship contender deal breaker opened up and a few others like coach prestige and of course my conference prestige. And now I'm ready to cook, because now this season I'm opened up, as you saw, for 5-stars because I got my championship contender up, as well as getting my overall stars up. I have my hours. Now I'm going to cook and start using my methods and tactics to get in. So basically this is how you do a 1 to 2 year rebuild. First year, you get that blue chip contender up by blindly sending 4-star offers to players that aren't being recruited. Then you come into this next year. Now you have the better prestige, you have the better hours. Then you come in with the coach you did. If you follow my coaching method that I told you about, where I got to level, as you guys see, I'll show you right now on the right. In my first season, I'm level 18, and that was with a bad team, right? You guys said it only happens with LSU. It does not. I'm level 18. That's on normal progression. If I had that on fast, it would be even higher. It's a normal progression. So level 18, you come in, you follow the blue chip method, you follow the coaching method, then you come into season 2. Now with all my coaching builds set up with I had my whole recruiter maxed in 1 year minus elite recruiter. Now I can come in and start using my tactics on these players, bring in the 5 4-stars, bring that championship contender higher, and that's it. The rebuild's underway. That is it. Now I can start flourishing and getting through. All it took was 1 year of setting things up a few ways, but that's basically the method that I'm going to be employing for when I reset a team. A lot of people bring in, and I see this with a lot. I saw this with top teams. Like I'm telling you, like Bama, Penn State, Georgia, Arizona, San Diego, right? I see all these teams. San Diego's on the top team. But all these top teams last year, look at this right now. Penn State has 4 3-stars. And the guy in my league, if he watches, he's going to see this and say something. He has 4 3-stars, probably insta commits, right? Because it's week 1. That is crazy. He has 8 insta commits on week 1. The issue here is, for me, is that those 3-stars are going to counter his 4-stars in his blue chip ratio. Yes, he's Penn State. Yes, it's a great team, but you are technically hurting your blue chip ratio, and you shouldn't be doing that. So while they're all doing that, I'm bringing my contender up while they're technically fighting theirs down slightly. And that is why you don't want to be doing that when resetting your team. A lot of these guys, I get it. You see a 3-star, oh, they have good speed, they're building blocks. You don't need them. Their floors are low. Their caps aren't always the best. You only want them if you're a 1 or 2-star school that quite literally can't recruit anything else. If you have an option to get unrecruited 4-stars, they're better than good 3-stars. And that's where I basically stand in terms of rebuilding a team. And then even here as well with hurting your blue chip ratio. But guys, that's about it for the video. I hope you did enjoy. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn that noty bell. Don't forget to check out poodlecfb.com. This code will be here as long as you guys keep killing it. So $40 off annual plan with code WINTER, capital W. 20% off the monthly with code WINTER2025. They are recurring. So while you may want to wait for the new game, you may not have that discount. So you lock yourself in now. You're set up for this year and next year. It's a recurring discount. You keep it. You end up saving on the 40 alone. You end up saving like a third of the year. On the monthly as well, you end up saving about a fourth of the year. So make sure you check it out. You don't want to miss it. That week when CFB 26 drops and our Discord it's already going crazy right now, and it's going crazy with all the new methods, tips, tactics. We're gonna learn the game in about a week or 2, and no one's gonna catch up. I recommend you get in there. Don't forget to use the code. I'm out. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.